Welcome back to GFB, and yeah, my name is Patrick and I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. It's another deck builder res hype thing again. This time it's for the Buster Blader deck. A lot of new supports came out for the Buster Blader, and the deck is actually really good against to be honest, any deck that uses spells, traps, monster effects, and summoning from the extra deck. And yeah, it's like I went to a tournament just last weekend, which is about on the 13th. I went to a tournament and I won 5 out of 6 games with this deck. And yeah, it's a really good deck. I suggest if you're looking for a Buster Blader deck, this is a really cool deck to go for. So first of all, 3 Buster Bladers, of course. I got this one. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I just put it in. It's the Japanese one from the Yu-Gi-Oh packs. So 3 times Buster Blader. Of course, everyone knows what it does, so we'll just put those on the side there. Then we have 1 times Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsmaster. Really good card. This card's name becomes Buster Blader while it is on the field or in a graveyard, and if a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by a battle or a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one of those destroyed monsters, equip it to discard. Then once per turn, you can send 1 monster you control that is equipped to discard to the graveyard. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same type as the monster sent to the graveyard. So this is a really good card for decks that only go for like one type of card. Like, yeah, pretty much. So those are the Buster Bladers. Then for the support cards for the Buster Blader, we have Buster Whelp of the Dragon Swordsman. Another really good card. It's a tuner, so you can summon synchro monsters with it. And its effect is that you can tribute this card, special summon 1 Buster Blader from your hand or graveyard. Really good. And the good thing about it is its second effect. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a Buster Blader, you can discard 1 Destruction Sword card, special summon this card. So pretty much this card can come back at any point during the game, as many times as you want, and you can keep on bringing back your your Buster Blader monsters. So it's a really good support for the deck. So we've got 2 of those. Next we've got 3 time Robot Buster Destruction Sword. Its effect is you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. That monster, the monster that was equipped with this card gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Also, when this card is equipped, spell trap cards that are already face up on your side of the field, on your opponent's side of the field, cannot be activated. So it stops, for example, Gravity Bind, I guess, because when you activate it afterwards, it just stops it. They can't use it anymore, so the card stays there, but the effect is negated for as long as this card remains on the field. So you've got 3 of those, a grade 4, 1600 attack, so even if you don't have anything, you can always summon it. So that's not bad. So that's monsters. Next we've got Wizard Buster Dragon Swordsman, another really good support. Now this one has a really good effect for some of the newer gen decks, as it states that when this card is equipped to a monster, monsters in your opponent's graveyards cannot activate their effects. There you go. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard and target 1 Destruction Sword monster in your graveyard except Wizard Buster Dragon, so this one, add it to your hand. There you go. You can bring back some other ones that you've already sent away for a different effect. So this deck is pretty much, it's self-feeding. Like, you can keep on reusing the same cards over and over again while stopping your opponent's cards. So you've got 3 of those. So then we've got Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, another tuner monster, a dragon type. While this card is equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. There you go. That's one of the cards that is used to just block the extra deck away from your opponent. When this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. You can only use the effect of Dragon Buster Dragon Swords once per turn. So basically, if this card's equipped and you want to, for example, you summon another monster that you want to use for a synchro summon, you can just de-equip it, summon it to your side of the field, and then use it for a synchro summon. Another really good card now. Next, Just normal monsters that you need in a deck are the 2 times Dark Magicians. Dark Magician is a Dark Magician, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. You can't argue with that. Well, of course you can. There's much stronger cards. Next up we have 1 Jinzo, just in case if something goes wrong. You can always negate traps, easy to summon. To be honest, you can just summon it and use it for a tribute for a synchro summoning. It's about, yeah, pretty much it's just a really good card to have in a deck. 1 time Summon Scald, again, high attack, only 1 tribute, really good. Next we've got 1 times Marshmallow for defensive power. If your opponent has anything really good on the field and you need to stall for a little bit of time to fusion summon, then yeah, Marshmallow's the way to go. Final monster of the deck, Magician of Faith, not banned anymore, so yeah, select 1 spell card from your graveyard, add the selected card to your hand. Do I need to say anything else? The monster set is really good in this deck. Let me just count up how many monsters there is in this deck altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's 21 monsters in this deck. So, yeah, it's really good. Okay, next up we've got all the spell cards. So first of all is all the search cards. So Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer, of course. Add 1 Buster Blader from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So if you draw that in the first turn and you have a Dark Magician and a Fusion, you can just summon a Fusion in the first turn because of this, pretty much. Next we have 1 Gold Sarcophagus. Everyone knows what Gold Sarcophagus does. Monster Recovery, really good card if you wanna draw more cards. Then the fusions. The fusion cards. We've got 3 times Destruction Swordsman Fusion. As it states, fusion summon 1 fusion monster that lists Buster Blader as material from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or either side of the field as fusion materials. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Destruction Swordsman Fusion once per turn. Just a good card to summon your fusion monsters, pretty much. Next up we have Polly. Really good card, of course, summons fusion monsters. 1 times Fusion Gate, just in case if you're not very lucky and you don't pull any Destruction Swordsman Fusions or Polly. Really good card to have in a deck. Next we have a Defusion, to just like if your opponent activates a card effect that would destroy 1 of your fusion monsters, you can just activate Defusion and negate it. Of course it doesn't work if it's Mirror Force or something, but if it's like not Torrential Tribute, let me think. Think on the spot. Never think on the spot. Trap Hole, for example. If someone had a Trap Hole, they activated it, boom, you activate this from your side of the field. When it's face down, of course, you can activate from your hand during your opponent's turn. And boom, it doesn't work anymore. Then we have Swords of Revealing Light, just to stall for some time if you need to find something, of course. And 2 times Karma of the Dragon. Karma of the Destruction Swordsman. The effect is target up to 3 monsters of the same type in your opponent's graveyard, banish them, and if you do, 1 Buster Blader monster or 1 Destruction Swords monster you control gains 500 attack and defense for each of those banished monsters until the end of this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard 1 Destruction Sword card, add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Karma of the Destruction Swordsman once per turn. Another really good card if you want to get rid of your opponent's graveyard, pretty much, and bring back cards to your hand. So 2 of those in the deck, and then just 1 monster reincarnation, for example, if you want to bring back a Jinzo if it's destroyed or something. So we have 21 monsters and 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, and 13 spells. So 21 monsters, 13 spells so far. Now for the trap card, there isn't many, but yeah, so we've got Quaking Mirror Force. When an opponent monster declares an attack, change all attack position monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. Monsters changed to face down defense position by this effect cannot change their battle position. Really good if your opponent has strong monsters on the field, then you have nothing. So you pretty much just block them, and the only thing that the opponent can do with them is just tribute them because they can't flip them. So 1, then 2 times Mirror Force. Everyone knows what Mirror Force does. And last but not least, actually there's one more card that I forgot about. We've got 3 times Destruction Sword Flash. If you control a fusion monster that lists Buster Blade as a material, banish all monsters your opponent controls. When a card effect is activated, then that targets a Buster Blade monster you control. Except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the effect, and if you do, destroy that card. Blocks anything pretty much, so you're safe as long as you have this card on the field. You banish all monsters your opponent controls. If you have a fusion monster that lists Buster Blade on field, now that is just OP, and you can have 3 of those in a deck. So yeah, 3 of those, and finally the final card is a Crash Card Virus. Yes, since it's legal now, it's always fun to have one of those in the deck. It has been rewritten. I'm not sure if this is the rewritten one. Let me just choose one dark monster with 1000 or less attack. Your opponent takes no damage until the end of the next turn. Yeah, that's the new one. Also, you look at your opponent's hand and all monsters they control. If you do, destroy that monster, destroy the monsters among them with 1500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1500 or more attack in their deck. There you go. Cool, so that's for the deck. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 7 traps. Now, for the most important part of the deck, we've got the extra deck. So, we've got 2 times Buster Blade, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. Now, he has a really good effect when you combine him with another card in this deck. Must be fusion summon. You can have special summon by other ways. This card cannot attack directly. This card gains 1000 attack and defense for each dragon type monster your opponent controls or is in the graveyard. Change all dragon type monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Also, dragon type monster your opponent in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So 2 of those. I'll go into these later on. Then we've got 3 times Dark Paladins. We've got 1 English one, 1 Japanese one, and then 1 Korean one for the bands. I just love the art, and I had one, so I thought I'll flick it in the deck. Everyone knows what Dark Paladin does. It's a really old card, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, and now this card goes excellent with this card. Buster Dragon. Its special ability is all monsters your opponent controls become dragon type. Once per turn, if you do not control a Buster Blader monster, you can target 1 Buster Blader monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target 1 Buster Blader monster you control, equip it with 1 Destruction Swords monster from your graveyard. This is a quick effect as well. 2800 defense, amazing card. 3 of those in a deck. Works amazingly because if all the monsters your opponent controls are dragon types, this guy gains 1000 attack and defense for each, and it's just broken. And the monsters can't activate their effects or anything, so it's just a really broken card in general. Then we have basically we have 3 of those. Now this is just up to pretty much whoever's building the deck. I just put them in because they have a sick effect, and I just had 3 lying around from the packs. So yeah. We have, the card name is Aegon the Sea Castrum. Yeah, exactly. Now, its ability is Quiet Mad. During either player's turn, you can banish 1 random face-down monster your opponent from your opponent's extra deck, face up. And if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to the banished monster's equal to the banished monster. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Then target 1 of your opponent's banished fusion, sync, or XYZ monsters, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with the same monster card type, fusion, sync, or XYZ. You can only use the effect of blah 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 once per turn. There you go. Really good card if your opponent... You can steal a monster from your opponent technically. And yeah, use it against him pretty much. If you're lucky enough, you can pick a 4000 beat stick and you have a strong monster out, so yeah. Anyway guys, this is the end of this Buster Blader deck recipe, and I will probably see you with another one soon, I hope. I'm not sure yet because I'm not sure what deck I'm going to build next, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and just tune in. Bye.